All right, check it out. You know, if we can take it back. You know, if we can take it back. Then we can make it work, then we can make it Mac. But you never know until we take it back. You know, if we can take it back. You know, if we can take it back. Then we can make it grow, but we'll never know until we take it back. Check it out. You know what love is. You know what right versus wrong is. When the right versus the song hits and lifts them high like bong hits. I got a long list of things on my conscience often. If we could go back to that place before the past replaced all that passion and grace on that path where the laughs would last on our face and come back around like running laps in a race and time lapse lackadaisical. We were haphazard with something so amazing, yo. We let it wander with no place to go. But let's face it, we're older, so there's space to grow blatant. And in that space alone, I've grown patient. So while I'm not by the phone waiting, I'm singing over xylophones playing. I'm not trying to ride alone. Let's find a location to vibe and downsize from nation to tribe. Cause I'm in love with your face and no hate in them eyes and no hate in that smile. It's an occasion to smile like vacations in Maui. It's amazing how vacant our lives be. Feels naked without baby beside me. So this time I'm taking some time like stealing watches and I'm making them shine like nail polish and dimes. I apologize for making you cry and I promise Scout's honor I'ma give it a try. Cause you know, if we can take it back. You know, if we can take it back. Then we can make it work, then we can lay it flat. But we never grow until we take it back. You know. Okay, you know, then we can make it work, then we can lay it flat, but we'll never grow until we take it back. Make a long noise for yourself.
They say, if you count the letters in his name, this will become your lucky number. If you then write that number in your underwear, like every single pair, and recite a series of special voodoo phrases, when you finally open your legs for him, he may remember your name when he's done. I didn't know you existed till his shadow grew smaller. Dipped in darkness, his tongue shifted so far east you unpacked yourself legitimate, behind his ego. Now you're a mouthful of worms multiplied by zero. I watched him dissect your atoms, seen your speech shorten, your tongue harnessed. Once you a wayward woman pulling at dragon spines. Your burnt language used to flame him erect. Now the old ladies on 135th Street weave you into yesterday's tapestries. He called you lover this morning. But names like prior interest fuck your memories like bad prom pictures. 3 years in and now you're in apocalypse in high heels, intangible. Touch Satan twice a day to break the monotony. Self-store your virginity in the angles of his back. His imprint fresh, burning your flesh like box screen grass, and you recognize this feeling from memory. I mean, haven't you noticed how his name tastes like genocide whenever you say it out loud? And as quickly as his mouth said, I love you, you orphaned your senses. Lay down your defenses like American Indians in Confederate blankets, like Congo's 1800s. You accepted something that you unwillingly had no cure for, and you didn't care. You refurbished pipe dream, tasting copper air, fending for anything that you can hold on to, and I get it. Like, I get it. He's a charming motherfucker. I mean, even I handed out my trust to him like a mislabeled rape survivor. But he is a fistful of halos. Archangels, like music, like archangels in B minor hysteria would set the street ablaze, flamed pupils, broad nose inhaling cities. I mean, what you gonna do when angels can slip through heaven's fault lines and land in your insecurity all easy like that? I mean, I'm a dude and I was like, he's fucking awesome. But he's the worst kind of natural disaster. An earthquake in the belly of 10 Katrinas. Misogyny wrapped in a rampage of torn ethos and gaseous ego. Oedipus on speed dial, he's quick to make you love his mother's mistakes. A rotten gospel of instant gratification. He said you were a pot of gold at the end of his rainbow. Your back crossed his table bit so I could see you real quick. What if? What if he molds you a daughter that you gift to chaos? To a world without order. How will men welcome her after you taught her how to dress emotions in riot gear, you Babylon in flavors, blind to death? What will you teach her when your spirit dreams of nothing more, when your only satisfaction can be captured in a bell curve of a discarded condom? Maybe one day you'll awake on a knife's edge, the blade whispering that you could have avoided this as it ruptured your spleen into 1,000 pieces of bloodied retrospect. Or maybe, just hopefully maybe, you'll awake in the eye of the hurricane. You will conjure Harriet Tubman, narcolepsy and all, and free your inner Messiah. Voice box reclaimed you are more than just what you scrape from the bottom of his occasional compliment, more than a vessel transporting his fame from those that provide judgment. Who are you if not compassion, if not love? See, my love, this is not meant as love foreseen fourscore ago. This is meant as an unstructured manual, unconstructed, distracted, inviting to an estrogen of burning off your morning. Sigh no more. Push night today, and don't apologize for tracing his serenity. He clung hope from a mist of before. He lit your tears. He lit your heart into a hill of tears, but now you must tear your flesh from this paradise of fairy tale landmines. Pull his linchpin tongue before he convinces you to give birth to grenades. Ask yourself, when he says, have my baby, ask yourself, what is the gestation period of atom bombs? Break away, reshape your spine, punch back, claw back, fight back, kick back. Fuck that. You created him. So fuck the death of his character. You can give birth to a proper man later. I need this for you. I need you to listen different. I need you to swallow these words, because this poem ain't really for you. It's for my daughter, in the hopes that the star left by your exploded resurrection will serve as her guiding light when one day she comes to me and she asks, Daddy, why doesn't he love me the way that I love him? Y'all, thank you so much.
Knock your door, tap on your window pane. Gonna stay right here till dawn comes back again. I swear I love you more than I love myself. I can't bear the thought of you and someone else. There's no way I can let you leave me now. No, there's no way I can let you leave me now. I stood by you. You said my love's as good as gold. So tell me why I'm here outside in the cold. They say you do not know of what you have until There's no way I can let you leave me now. No. There's no way I can let you leave me now. Leave me now.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make an amazing amount of noise that lasts for a very, very long time, so she has to stand here awkwardly for a little while. Please welcome Aja Monet.
I'm glad there's a sense of humor in the room tonight, because I'm about to say some serious shit, but I'm so happy right now. I'm really excited because I got this like new case just for my poems. It's kind of nice, it's really fancy. And I'm gonna read some pieces that I'm gonna try to read everything, because I know there's some people that I specifically came here to hear some shit. So we're gonna make it happen. So I brought everything possible. As you can see, so that everyone leaves here feeling very fulfilled. Just one more. You guys give me so much hope. I guess it's not even just hope, it's like affirmation, you know? When you recognize like-minded spirits in a room. So I'm gonna start with what I've learned, because there's some people in here that were like, you're reading that, right? So I had to pull it up, and I'm just gonna move into the vibe of it. I just want to thank everyone that came before, so Eric and Talia and Fresh and Shaka, for setting the tone, because I want to talk about some things tonight, now that I have you all here. And I'm going to start with what I've learned. I'm going to start with what I've experienced. It's all random. It's all stuff. I don't know what the order is. And we're going to move through the night like that, naturally. This is called What I've Learned. I know cloud formations, and that raindrops don't fall in a teardrop shape. They originally fall in the shape of a flat oval I know I don't remember where I read that. Recycled water. I know tear ducts remind me of cleaning bathroom floors with a toothbrush until the bristles flatten and the tips yellowed from bleach. I know how to bathe and wash a dish in steaming water. How to break one and glue it together with crazy glue. How to bathe someone else while soap suds squeeze under arms and behind ears. I know how to reach difficult places. How to be broken and put together again. I know my arms are long and my hands remind me of vines. I know laughter. Laughter sometimes sounds like bubble wrap, and it's my favorite part of unpacking boxes. I know that when I smile, I squint my eyes. I know men with deep diaphragm laughter, and that ladybugs aren't really ladies. I know they like to follow me into subway cars on days when I need to be reminded of magic, and spiderwebs sparkle like diamonds after rain showers. I know yesterday is the day before today, and tomorrow is an illusion where I imagine the mouths of my children nuzzling on breasts in a rocking chair while the lavender fields in our yard cement the wind. I know Brooklyn and the man on the J train who walks barefoot through the cars must be cold in February. I know cocaine is a hell of a drug. My father used to have a beautiful smile. I know he misses his teeth. I know it's been 20 years and he still smells like a bottle of Heineken. I know the smell of alcohol makes me nauseous. I know I drink it anyway. Bazooka bubble gum doesn't last long and used to come with cartoon strip giveaways. I know Swedish fish. I know Swedish fish used to cost 5 cents in the bodega. I remember candy dots on sheets of paper. Mr. Softy Jingle means it's summer. I know Africa isn't far, and hip-hop is in Senegal and Paris and Haiti, and I've heard Biggie's Juicy play on all three. I know my mother used to rap, and they called her Baby E. I know she gave up her dreams when she had children, and I know that she wishes she didn't. I wouldn't be a poet if my mother would have had a better sense of humor. I know there are women who killed their children in alleyways and bathtubs and car seats and lakes. I know she lied about where we live so that I could get into good schools, and I know that good schools saved me and teachers helped raise you. I know Gilgamesh and Homer and Odyssey and Antigone. Antigone only wanted to love someone ferociously. I want to visit Greece someday. I know there are so many words for pain. English is a slave language. I know it doesn't account for the space between these words, the colors, nor the texture. I know books can make you disappear. Smiles change your face, and that laughter, whether forced or organically born, has the power to release chemicals that relieve stress. I know that I love being held tightly. My feet sometimes embarrass me. I wore shoes too small as a child so that my mother wouldn't make fun of how big my feet were. I know I was well into adulthood before I ever heard her say I was beautiful. I learned to use a mirror when I was 6. She is still my first definition of beauty. I know that I like my hair down more than when it's pinned up. I know little white girls are prone to getting lice in elementary school. I know we all suffer, and the basis of all of human suffering is deception. I know that we all get lonely. I know loneliness creates longing, and longing can be confused for love, and love doesn't exist, not like that. I know there are guardians protecting me. I'm certain one of them is Native American. I know San Pedro's clean people of negative energy and light tall glass cylinder candles they buy from Botanicas or Seatown or Trade Fair or Met Foods as an offering to the saints. I know La Caridad. I know if I jumped off a building I wouldn't fly. I know someone who tried. I know I don't like money. I only want it so that I can buy mangoes and cinnamon and rice and water and a place to live and bathe and love and raise growing things. I know that starvation anywhere is inexcusable, inhumane, unlawful, and unjustified. It's all about distribution and selfish motherfuckers who privatize goods, spitefully monopolizing off human wants and needs. I know when you're hungry, your stomach turns still, and one will do unruly things in order to silence the aching call echoing through one's body. I know echoes make us call out to our own voices. I know voices can be imitated. Killing someone is the only way some of us believe we can get along. I know that a casket is expensive. Funeral homes remind me of my uncle's schizophrenia tears apart families. I know that you can be more than one person at the same time, and anyone can be driven to insanity. I know insanity sometimes means cocaine helping, and is also a safe word for no one understands me. I know that we're all afraid of being misunderstood. Honey is sticky and never goes bad. I know a Holy Ghost when I see one. I know how to speak in tongues. It's a language God made so that the devil, aka Lucifer, wouldn't understand. I know that I don't understand Lucifer. Lucifer is a smooth zoot suit wearing brother with swag and an ill ear for music. And I know he loves jazz and bought Robert Johnson's soul, and I'm sure glad he did. And I know how to pray over someone who's been betrayed or ill or depressed or hopeless. I know that prayer is about speaking things into existence. Vibration is how sound travels. Sound is the silver lining to how we communicate. I know people say things they don't always mean. We don't mean what we say when we say it, but how we say it. Realtors call haunted or homes possessed by ghosts where someone's died stigmatized property. I know that photographs are documents where we can choose to revisit moments in our lives and manipulate their memory. I know that front porch swings are reminiscent of old southern plantation homes. Mid-Atlantic slave trade. The Mid-Atlantic slave trade fascinates me. And I know that I've imagined Gory Island before ever visiting it. Disillusionment is a hell of a drug. I wish I could have treated Harriet Tubman to dinner or a night on the dance floor. No, each world has its own science and its own fiction. Time isn't linear. No space is not the distance between two variables, but more like an empty chest. Or better yet, the absence of objects, the lack of furniture in a room. Or better yet, the reason people separate into different homes, different states or countries, sometimes into different arms and beds, into different futures. I know abandonment is a boy named Jason in the halfway house who stutters when he reads his poems because his grandmother used to yell at him like a beaten up pit bull tied to a backyard fence in East New York. I know Jack Smith taught me how to look at garbage differently, how to be strange and flamboyant, how hands reach for things like doorknobs and buttons and breasts and cocks and slits and wrists. I know blood, scabs under the sun, hospitals smell like spoiling bodies. I know that I do not know very much outside of what I know, but this is all the unknowing. If love is the foundation, you are a cornerstone, brick by brick, building into each other, up into something worth fighting for, thriving for, something to marvel with. Who will tell the glory? Tell the fashion of art? Who will yell it, scream it from a mountaintop when we can't escape the echo of our own suffering? If it is our storytelling, your voice in the shadow of forgetting beckons us out from the depths. Your laughter is disarming in a room full of weapons. All the ways we can destroy each other, but how to uplift someone, how to lend a hand and reach out to a spirit, an ancestor, a child in search of answers or arms or imagination. If prayer is the petition for presence, then you will always be in a heart, on the tongue, in the palms, a long list of words left to sing you into existence here, now, where you've always been needed and wanted, hoped for and appreciated. They don't make men like you anymore. You are the civilization our ancestors were daydreaming about in the belly of a slave ship, two lovers humming your name, imagining the disappearance of chains and shackles, our minds. Oh, your voice, a praise. You are a calling to humility, a calling to humanity. You are the definition of human. We don't have to create facades of who we want to be. Like you don't have to do that. Like you don't have to. Do you know what I'm saying though? Like, for real, like we don't have to do this. We don't have to do this. We don't have to do everything we think we have. We really don't. You know what I'm saying? Like when you leave here and you feel somebody's spirit, like connect with them. You know what I'm saying? Like connect with them. I'm serious. It's not just about this. And it's definitely not about me because I'm not from London. Connect with somebody else that's from London that you have not met, that you need to vibe with to create some shit, to do something that's bringing us something somewhere else. Because that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't solve the issues that are happening in life. I can't solve the issues that happen in the world. We have to do it. We together. We. But like, for real though, like if tomorrow I was like, yo, let's go take over, what's the most important building in London? What is it? The Parliament building? Housing Parliament? Like sometimes I think, right? Like I'm like, oh, I got some fans all over the world, it's crazy, you know, it's cool. I'm like, but if I was really about some shit, who would show up? You know what I'm saying? Like, could Malcolm X exist right now? You know, I think about it, I'm like, could Jesus walk these streets and people be looking at him like he's okay? People are like, nah, man, I got a job tomorrow morning. You know what I'm saying? I got a baby and shit. And that's real, but we don't have to do this. I want to make a song called We Don't Have to Do This. Eric Lau, we don't have to do this. It could just be on repeat, we don't have to do this. The whole song. You can make a beat all about that, we don't have to do this. Right? Around people watching with Basquiat sitting on a curb on Bedford Ave, sipping piraguas, talking about never thought I'd live to see the day. Could have sworn I saw Otis Blackwell walking out the corner store on Atlantic Ave, smoking a Lucy, whistling a new tune for Elvis to cover. And it was gully right because I caught Biggie on a stoop in Bed-Stuy selling dope to a hipster with Ready to Die tatted across the pale of his arm. Hadn't seen a hoopty in a while when old dirty bastard pulled up, offered me a ride to the pink houses, and suddenly a handsome mocha man sitting on a nearby fire escape calls my name. I could tell it was Jackie by the dodges stitched across his chest. He told me I miss home, and then it all fades to black. When I woke, the blue moon was sprawling out of its hiding place, limbs hanging over the shoulder of night after lovers had abandoned their bodies, laughing in the corners of each other. I was a Fulton lamppost staring at the sky's cheekbone shy of stardust through the blinds of J-train tracks. This is how it feels to dream of being moonlight in East New York, a concrete plank collecting the whispers of bodega blues. Darling sunrise tickles drumbeat hips swaying through the air of Sassone, and I envy the morning swag. Boomboxes hold our windows open in July. We face our fears on a cyclone called romance, a stroll along the boardwalk in Coney Island. Head nods pay respect on beat. Boys playing Scully in the street. We used to buy our kicks in City Line and roll a blunt for our fallen soldiers and spark a generation in love with spray cans and naked tenement buildings. Graffiti the spirits of hustlers with bubble letters. Mr. Softy Summers been stealing Abuela Santo offerings for Tweety Bird on a popsicle stick, playing hopscotch on the broken sidewalk, eavesdropping on front stoop gossip, hair braiding, fingers dancing between strands of air. Brothers get caught in gangs, get caught in barbershops, get caught in street corners, get caught, thrown against the hood of cop car scene. One too many handcuffs on the wrists of brown skin. We dock slave ships on our shores daily. No Rikers Island like a country home. I'm convinced my father conceived me in Kings County arraignments while daydreaming of freedom. I owe my life to the woman who stopped my mother on the B-56 on her way to the abortion clinic and told her she had a poet coming.